Okay. Okay. Uh, okay. Uh, One of two things is true. One of two things is true. One of two things is true. Either, number one, I have flipped my lid, gone off the deep end, I'm off my rocker, batshit crazy. Either that's true, or every person in every video I watch, every TV show host, every podcaster, every podcast guest, everybody on TV, Fox TV, that's where I've first really discovered this. But I think that was the end of last year. I think this has been going on a lot longer than just a year or a few years. I'm thinking now decades, at least since 2010, if not before. But I know, okay, either I'm crazy, either I'm fucking out of my skull, or everybody in every video I watch, every TV show, every movie, every song I listen to, every YouTube video, every internet video, every place I go online, I'm being very painstakingly surveilled. And it's not just, it includes video and audio, but it also includes my thoughts. Again, either I am certifiably insane, or this other phenomenon is happening. I know that they can read my thoughts, because I don't know about you, but I'm given to errant thoughts, and sometimes they're thoughts I would die if anybody could hear my thoughts or read my thoughts. I don't know if you can relate. Have you ever had a thought that you wouldn't want anyone else to know? Well, either every person in every video I watch, whether it's a TV show or a movie or a streaming show or an internet video or a podcast, and I don't know why we're calling them podcasts. Podcasts means listening only, but nobody's podcast is listening only. It's a video. It's it's the them show. It's like me. If I had my own show, it could be called The Edward Show. My name's Edward, for those of you who don't already know. This has been extraordinarily distressing. I mean, I'm glad I know, but it's a waking nightmare. I can't watch. I used to enjoy, if I had the rare occasion to find a TV show or a podcast, they should be called vlogs. Vlogs, because that's what they are. They're video blogs. And I'm not trying to make vlog happen. Vlog happened in my mind the first time I knew the definition of that word. No, I did not. No, Zach, I did not go to painstaking detail to research anything, but I did read all the Q drops. I don't know what they all mean. I don't know what many of them mean. But I do see quite a bit of significant symbolism in what Q posted. A lot of it. You're watching a movie, enjoy the show. The foreshadowing in those drops. No, I didn't know. I read them all. No, I didn't comprehend the meaning of all of them when I read them, and I still don't comprehend the meaning of all of them. I don't know that anybody does. There seems to be a lot of people out there who think they have decoded the Q drops, and they've made some good points. They've made some crazy points. They've made some hard to swallow points. Some seem absurd. But just imagine if you woke up one day and realized that every time you walked in front of your TV, whether it's on or off, or whether it's unplugged or plugged in, it's like just imagine the screen is like you look on your phone where the camera is, and it's often very tiny, sometimes minuscule. But just imagine that your screen, your TV screen, your computer screen, your phone screen, no matter what size, it's tiny or one of these 70-inch flat panel wall-mounted TVs. Imagine that the screen is a camera. Just imagine, just consider the possibility, even if you can't fathom it. Just let it roll around in your imagination for a few minutes. Ponder it. Consider it. Consider what it would be like if you knew that your TV could read your thoughts, if you knew that your phone could read your thoughts, if you knew that every podcaster, every TV host, every star in every series, TV or streaming series or movie, every song you're listening to, whether it's a song you've been listening to since you were a child or something brand new, just imagine that they can all see you and hear you in real time, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And additionally, they can read your thoughts in real time. Like if you think, oh, I hate this song. Imagine the people are performing the song in live for you on demand in real time, and that they are aware of your exact thoughts. You know, I remember when I was a child, I don't remember who said it, but I remember it was sort of a running gag of a cultural running gag. It wasn't what we would say today. It wasn't viral, but I do remember it was a thing. I heard it at least once, if not more than once. Oh, there's a man who lives inside your TV. And I also remember, a couple of things about people who have been dismissed as crazy over the decades. There are people who said, now we joke today about tinfoil hats. Well, what if it's not a conspiracy theory? What if people really did try to protect their minds from being mind raped? That's a real term, mind rape, and targeted individual, or TI. and mass surveillance. And just imagine that no matter where you are in the world, home, bedroom, bathroom, driving, on vacation, at work, imagine that you are being videotaped, audio taped, they can see you and you're being seen and heard from multiple angles at every waking or sleeping hour of the day, and they can read your thoughts and probably also read your dreams as you're dreaming. From a satellite with a very tiny amount of, I think, electricity or magnetism. I can't remember exactly how it works, but it's a thing. Back to what Zach said, most of us research. I haven't researched this. I can't. It's hard to think straight because this is so surreal and strange and distressing. Sometimes it's joyous and exciting and magical, and like it's like living in a, if Tolkien was Tolkien, I don't know, Tolkien or Tolkien, if he was still alive and writing books today and he delved into sci-fi, fantasy, future genre, my life has become like what I would imagine that literature would be if Tolkien was alive today writing futuristic fantasy sci-fi. That's what my life has become like. I mean, this isn't, I've been aware of this since, let's see, this is almost the end of February 2022. I realized this at the end. I discovered in a very shocking, alarming way at the end of July that something was terribly wrong. Unusual, unexpected, something I was totally unprepared for. But just imagine that you discovered, I'm not even saying it's true. I'm just saying imagine it. Imagine it's a story, if you like reading short stories or novels, or you like watching movies, or really great TV shows like The Sopranos. Excuse me. I have not seen a really great movie, for the most part. I'm not saying blanket statement. I'm not saying, maybe there have been some really great movies that I've missed, but I quit watching movies around the end of the 1990s, maybe the early 2010s. I have more than once, I had gone to see a movie around that time period, and it was so bad and so just anti-human and just with an evil heart, coming from the place of a very dark, evil heart. And I didn't have words for it, and I didn't understand that it was things like that were being pushed on humanity by design. I just thought, wow, really bad one got through here. And I walked out, and I haven't gone to see movies since around that time, 2010. I'm not saying I never walked in a movie theater between then and now, but it probably hasn't been more than twice in all those years. Because movies, TV shows, the radio, ads, advertisements, commercials, they just have become so just insidious and just, I don't know, terrible, so terrible that I quit watching and listening for decades. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence. And, you know, if you don't like air quotations or two guys who love each other as more than just friends, or women, two women, that's your choice. That's fine. But my body, my choice, right? My mind, my choice. I just wanted to say, I know you can see me and hear me, and I know you can read my thoughts. It's been blatantly, painfully obvious on more than one occasion, to the point where now I cannot sit down and watch a video, a podcast, a vlog, I can't watch them because I have this spiteful, cruel, resentful, bitter mind, and I'm jealous, and my jealousy of others, my resentment of others has grown to such an unimaginably immense degree that I can't watch a video without making cruel, snap judgments of the people in the video based on the way they sound or they look or what they say or their opinion or their, you know, if they're presenting facts. I cannot watch anymore because I know they can hear my thoughts. And again, I could be batshit crazy. This could be in my mind. In fact, if it is discovered or diagnosed that this is all in my head and it's a feature of mental, you know, some troubling I had to turn the blower off because I don't know if you can see that or not, but the vent is blowing. Something to be grateful for. I'm inside. I have heat and electricity and food and a good little dog and a lot of other things. I'm so grateful to be inside, safe and protected from the weather. But back to what I was saying. If it's mental illness, if it's my imagination playing tricks on me, if it's some psychosis or neurosis or terrible symptom of some terrible mental illness, it would actually be a relief to discover that, to learn that, to find that out. Because if it's not some sort of disorder or syndrome, some mental disorder or syndrome that I'm experiencing, then it's really happening, which is infinitely more scary, magical. The one thing, I guess I'll leave you with this. The one thing that has been the most magical and take away the disregard the scary aspects. If you are being watched by, let's say, the world in real time, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, from multiple angles, no matter where you are, whether you're home, driving, on vacation, at work, doesn't matter. Imagine, if you can imagine that. I don't know about others, but for me, in many aspects, it is very distressing and difficult, if at all possible, to wrap my mind around what's this phenomenon. It's either mental illness or a phenomenon that's happening on a wide scale, on a massive scale, on a national scale, on a global scale, to populations, not just me or a few people here and there. But there's a movie called Eagle Eye. It's an older movie. I don't know the year it came out, but Matthew Broderick was a very young person at the time. But in that film, I think it was Eagle Eye. Yeah. Part of the they included there was a sequence, or they kept going back to this sequence. There was this omniscient computer that was monitoring absolutely like I've described. There was an omniscient computer. Wait, no. Matthew Broderick was in War Games. Eagle Eye is newer than War Games. But in Eagle Eye, there was an omniscient AI. It was the U.S. government AI, and it was monitoring everyone, just in the way I've described to you, that I've been realized that I have been for decades, probably being surveilled down to my heartbeat, biological functions, brain activity, and thoughts. Now, they didn't touch on the mind rape aspect of this. They just focused on video and audio, and like everywhere the main characters went, LED, scrolling LED signs in public would have personal messages to them, turn right at the corner, get in this car, take that cell phone from that sleeping stranger on the subway. But this computer, the way it was presented in Eagle Eye, this computer, this AI, was monitoring. They kept going back to this sequence where the main characters had somehow given the AI the slip and gotten away, and the AI didn't know exactly where they are. And it was this sequence. They would show this, they would play this sequence every time the AI was trying to locate somebody. And it was a map of the United States, and at first it looked just like a map of the United States, but then cities popped up, and then in those cities, a billion gazillion little screens popped up, like laptop screens, until the entire map was covered, every inch, in these laptop screens showing each person in their home in front of their laptop. Or let's just stick with that. Now, that's what I'm describing. That's what I've been describing to you. If it's happening to me, either I'm crazy or this is happening to me. And if it is happening to me, it's also happening to you. President Trump has been saying for years, making no bones about the fact that he was spied on. The president, first a private citizen, then a presidential candidate, and then president of the United States, was spied on. Phone records, internet activity, conversations at home, listening in, spying in to wherever President Trump was, and getting video and audio and data, all kinds of, probably any kind of data. I mean, why do you think when there's a very important meeting that needs to take place, a high-level governmental meeting, they hold those meetings in specially constructed rooms wherein electronic equipment of any kind is forbidden? No computers, no cell phones, nothing. And why would they, I mean, they are obviously taking those measures because it's necessity. Why would they go to that trouble if there wasn't something real about, if all or certain aspects of what I'm describing were not 100% real and true and not a conspiracy theory? Sit down, sit down, sit down, buddy, sit down, sit down. other thing I want to say. I want to go delve a little deeper into this. I can't watch videos anymore. I used to love to watch people's vlogs, especially, keeping up with current events, let's say. Let's just say keeping up with current events. Alternative news media outlets, keeping up with current events. I've really enjoyed watching those over the years. I started watching alternative media and nothing else for the most part. Maybe Fox News here or there. If President Trump was on Fox News, I would watch the interview. But I can't watch videos anymore because I know it is inevitable that when I do sit down to watch a video, I'll make these snap judgments about people based on my negative thinking. Who would want anybody to know that or hear that? But apparently, everyone, the world, I'm just going to say the world apparently, can see me and hear me in real time. And in addition, they can also read my mind, read my thoughts. I just envision like there's a screen or screens across the world, and every thought I have, every dream, it's just, it shows up like a Word document on some screen somewhere. Or maybe they have figured out how to actually record visual images. Elon Musk said his technology to sort of upgrade the cybernetic or cyborg or symbiotic relationship between us and the internet. He says we're already cyborgs because of our phones and laptops, that they're just extensions of us. But his technology would be embedded, like they would cut an inch out of your skull and embed a microchip or some electronic device that will at first heal, previously irreversible conditions like quadriplegia or blindness or deafness. He said any sort of mental issue or neurological disease could be cured with this technology. But he also said that in the future, we wouldn't have to speak because we would be communicating telepathically. And that this technology, now this was Joe Rogan's way of putting it, but Elon Musk didn't correct him either. Joe said this technology would give anybody who had it godlike abilities, mental capacity. Well, what would that be? Moving things with your mind? Telepathy? What would that be? Godlike. God can manifest anything. But Elon Musk said something that indicated pointed to what my experience, this phenomenon I've been experiencing that I'm trying to explain to you tonight. He said something that affirmed it, that affirms my take on what I have discovered is happening. A lot of people have said affirming things about it. Even Bob Lazar, who, thank God, received enough hugs when he was a child. I just hope he got enough blowjobs as an adult. But he said, I listened to a podcast a podcast, a vlog, Joe Rogan's vlog. I watched it or listened to it. And Bob Lazar said some things that indicated or sort of affirmed or verified or support my case. I know if people who live in my hometown see this, or my family members, they will just say, oh, Uncle Edward has finally flipped. My mom and stepdad would be mortified if they see this or know I say this, because they're convinced it's mental illness. Well, my stepfather seems to acknowledge that there is something to the targeted individual surveillance, maybe even mind rape. It's on his radar. He doesn't agree 100%, but he acknowledges that it might be true. But none of them would watch this and think, oh, I'm glad to hear that. Oh, that's interesting. I'll think about that. They'll all just say, he's gone crazy. Look at this. Watch this video. Well, what can I tell you? Maybe I am crazy. But I've never experienced this before in my life. Nothing like this. And I'm leaving out a lot of detail. But just imagine, I can't watch videos anymore. The only way I can watch a vlog anymore is to just play the video on my phone and send the audio Bluetooth to my karaoke machine. Send the audio Bluetooth to my karaoke machine. And listen instead of watch. It's easier to listen. I used to listen to Opie and Anthony every day. And this was in the 2010s when I can't remember if it was just Sirius or if it was already, I think it was only Sirius Radio at the time. SIRIUS, Sirius. I listened to Opie and Anthony. I listened to Ron and Fez. And those shows were 4 hours or more every day, weekdays. And, you could tune into those channels anytime, and they'd be playing a rebroadcast of an old episode, or maybe that day's episode. Or if they were on Christmas break, they'd have a whole, have edited together a whole week of material from previous, like they would do a best of the year. My point is, I listened to a lot of talk radio, Howard Stern even, and I really enjoyed those shows, and I got a lot of laughs out of them. They are very profane and juvenile, and maybe even darker than that. Probably even darker than that sometimes. But I really enjoyed that. But now it's not a blog. It's not a podcast anymore. It's not just a radio show. It's a video. You're watching people. There are multiple camera angles. They do tight close-ups sometimes. It's a lot of visual information coming at you. Or for me, it's a lot of visual information coming at me at the same time, and it distracts me from being able to listen to what the message of what they're saying is, because now I know they can hear my thoughts. They can hear my thoughts. I realize how insane this sounds. And, it sounds like a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory or a crazy person. But, it was another thing when I was a child growing up. I remember it was part of the zeitgeist, at least in America, this concept of the crazy person who believes the TV is talking to them. I remember hearing about people who thought the TV could see them and hear them, thought they were having a communication or a dialogue with the people they would watch on TV. I remember that was a thing. And the indication was, oh, poor thing, they're crazy as a shithouse rat, as they say. So I get how crazy this sounds and how unlikely many people would think this is, if they would even consider it could be possible, if only just for me. But I mean, I'm telling you, if President Trump has been banging the drum about being spied on since before he was elected, or was it before he was, well, at least since the time he put his hat in the ring to be a candidate for president, they've been spying on him. And if they could spy on him, they certainly could spy on me. They could spy on anybody they want, including you, your children, your relatives, your friends, family, loved ones, anybody you know. Just imagine that map of the United States from Eagle Eye, and that it's covered every inch in little screens, little laptop screens representing every person in every dwelling from coast to coast, north to south. Just imagine that there is some sort of mass surveillance on that scale. I mean, just all you have to do, I can think of a law. Or is it a law, or is it an executive order? Maybe an executive order. George W. Bush signed into law the Patriot Act as a means of combating terrorism that we experienced on September 11th, 2001. But the Patriot Act would allow anybody to monitor anybody for any reason, for any length of period of time, in any means possible. Any means possible. If there is technology available that can read your thoughts from a satellite in space, just as easily as you can connect your phone to your Bluetooth speaker in just as short amount of time, if not less time. I mean, just imagine, I used to think, if I've known about mass surveillance for a long time, years. I think before 2017, I already knew about mass surveillance and that we were being surveilled. I hadn't really given much thought to fleshing that out. I just sort of took it for granted, but I thought, well, how could this possibly affect me? I'm a rural rube living in a podunk city where nothing of coincidence has ever taken place. I'm a ward of the state. There's so many reasons I would think I would just be someone to pass over. But imagine if you possessed the technology or the ability, or both, to spy on anyone you wanted to spy on everyone who lives in a house that's wired with electricity, or drives a car, or goes into buildings or places where there is electricity and appliances that can be used to spy with hidden cameras or hidden microphones, transmitting that data back to, I'm not sure who, Eagle Eye, I guess, via the Internet of Things, I think. If it were possible, if it is possible to spy on every living person on planet Earth, every second of the day, every day of the year, ceaselessly, why wouldn't they do that? I mean, if they have been funding their evil deeds with human trafficking, well, wouldn't it be great if you could put a camera in everybody's house and just sort of pick and choose which people you want to abduct into human trafficking? And imagine if you had unfettered 24-hour access, visual, audio, and mental thoughts, reading people's thoughts. Imagine if you had that capacity. There's no way they would. You think they would pass that opportunity up? You think can you fathom that a corrupt global tyrannical regime and a death cult, some people say it's a death cult, but as Zach said, most people do research. I didn't research that. I've watched a lot of videos and read a lot of articles about it, but apparently that's not research. There's no way that if that were technologically viable, a technologically viable option, that it wouldn't have been utilized the second it went online. And we've had, I don't know, when did we start having internet in the home? In the early 90s? Mid 90s? Late 90s? Just imagine that ever since the internet went online in the United States, if not the entire world, that they've been collecting data nonstop, every second of the day, for decades, on every single one of us, every member of our family, every friend, every coworker, every person at church, everyone at Alt MBA, everyone at Creative Live, everyone at Brene Brown's blog, every liberal, every conservative, everyone in between, every citizen of every country and every continent on this planet. Just imagine there being just imagine it. That's all I'm asking. I know either I'm crazy or this is real. And some people say there are no coincidences, and I tend to believe that today. I don't know if I believed it the first time I heard it, but I believe it today because I see it in my life, and it's like being hit in the face repeatedly with a sledgehammer, just right in the teeth. Well, I feel better getting that off my chest. But I know y'all can see me and hear me. I know you know everything about me. I know you've seen me naked in my house. I know you probably saw me naked in my house earlier today. I can't live like a prisoner in my own home. I just can't do it. For months, I was walking on eggshells from the time I got up in the morning until the time I went to bed at night. And I would wake up with nightmares in the middle of the night. And there's clear evidence that my house has been broken into multiple times. Undeniable evidence. The police could not care less. In fact, they often have come, shrug their shoulders, listen to me explain what I discovered, shrug their shoulders, and leave without consequence. And more than that, The last time I called the police, when I discovered my house had been broken into, the window was separated from the window frame. Separated like this, like I could pull it away. It was broken into. And the police officer stared at me like I was from Mars, and maybe I am. And he said, do you have any mental health diagnoses, or are you on any psychotropic medication? He's not, he shouldn't even, isn't that illegal for a police officer to ask a person a question like that? I guess we've just given up our rights to the point where we don't have rights anymore. We have the illusion of rights. We have the illusion of having rights. We have the illusion of being free. But we're not free. I'm sorry to tell you. Or, again, this could all be mental illness. I accept that. And I'll say again, if it is mental illness, I'll be relieved. Because if it's not, if this phenomenon, this mass surveillance 1984 phenomenon, where every single person is being monitored every hour of the day via glowing screens in their homes. I mean, that's in 1984. George Orwell wrote that in a novel. I don't even know when that came out. Decades ago. 1984. I'm not sure when that was written. Well, let's see, buddy. Let's look it up. Brandon Strock just showed up on my screen. I'm sure it's a coincidence. He's a great speaker, by the way. He could host his own 4-hour show. I'm convinced of it, and it would be great, and I would listen to it. You know, he's met President Trump. Oh yeah, 1984. What year was it published? $1949. Oh, the month I was born in 1949. But I'll end with this. I feel like I've rambled on for too long, but I will end with this. If I lost my train of thought. Well. If I am being surveilled to the infinitely greatest degree that I believe I am, then you are too. We all are. There's a file. There's an electronic file on a server somewhere. Somewhere in the world, there are electronic files on every living person. Video of them, audio of them, their thoughts, their dreams, every action they've taken, every place they've gone, every mile they've driven, every phone conversation, every fart, every sex act, every time you've been naked. Just think it. I just knowing what I know about other conservatives. I've not been a conservative all my life. I don't know that I even really fit into the category of conservative, because in many ways I'm not conservative. But as far as well, I said I was going to end. I'm just going to end. I agree with a well-armed militia. I agree with free speech. I agree with constitutional rights. And I don't see anybody other than conservatives standing up for our constitutional rights. In fact, the opposite is true. I see people standing up to say, take away our rights, take away our freedoms so we can be safe. Yes. And that I disagree with. That I totally disagree with. So I may not fit the bill as far as a dictionary definition of a conservative goes. In fact, I know I don't. But if you're not standing up for freedom and inalienable rights for humanity, then I think you're standing on the wrong side. Wrong side of history, wrong side of life. Anyway, I'll end there. Oh, I'll say a prayer for you. Why not? I'm sure Ricky Gervais is cringing, rolling his eyes right now, and all the other atheists. But we have the right to practice any. We have freedom of religion, and I don't want to be a part of organized religion at all, period. But I feel like I have I'll just say a prayer for you. I'll just say a prayer for you. I'll just say this. Why would anyone not want someone to have a feeling about this, feeling like this about them? Sit down. I'm sure some people think if I pray, lightning will strike because I'm such a wretched sinner. But anyway, God, we invite you to bring your glory into the rooms where we are right now, wherever we are in the world or in the universe. And we invite you to bring your glory into those rooms, and we ask for and affirm. You don't want me to pray either? We ask for and affirm whatever miracles you have in store for us. I think I've said enough. This video probably will get 0 views anyway. But, I know people see videos and blog posts and everything I do. I know people see it. I know you see it. I know you can see me. I know you can hear me. I know you can read every post I've ever made anywhere online. I know you can. It's not a question in my mind, unless I'm diagnosed with, I don't know what mental illness would I don't know what diagnosis would qualify me as mentally ill or insane or crazy. But I guess that's all for now. Now I'm gonna get high and sit and edit this video for a long time, and I'm gonna thoroughly enjoy it. And I hope you thoroughly enjoy your Saturday night. But you might not see this until it's, well, I'm sure you're probably watching it in real time right now. So I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say. Thank you and good night. Oh my God, an hour. Whoa.